Hello everyone, welcome to Chetan Bharat Learning and welcome to our series on UPSC Mains 2021. This is the fourth session related to environment and disaster management. In this series, we are covering 5 questions daily of each subject. You are already covering Indian economy with Raghav sir and you are covering environment and disaster management with me. So let us start with today's question. The first question is, how does the draft EIA notification Environment Impact Assessment Notification 2020 differ from the existing EIA notification 2006? In 2020, a draft notification changes. Some of the changes were introduced in the EIA process in the form of draft EIA notification 2020. We have to highlight those differences. As far as this answer is concerned, we are only supposed to highlight the differences in the new draft notification vis-a-vis the older notification. So if we go by the differences, first major difference in this notification is ex post facto approval. That's a very dangerous trend in a way because the draft notification says that even if the project has been initiated, the project has been started without due environmental clearances, without following the due EIA process, then there is a provision for ex post facto, like after giving the due fines and all those things, you can carry on with your project. So this is one new change that was introduced in the new notification, new draft notification. Second, the dilution of the EIA process. In what way the process is being diluted? For example, central government has been given the authority to classify certain projects as strategic projects. Strategic projects. The projects which are classified as strategic by the government, they need not undergo the EIA process. Now this is very wide power available with the government and it may dilute the environmental sustainability aspect of the EIA notification. Yet another example of a dilution of the EIA process, the construction projects. Earlier there was a certain limit beyond which the EIA process was mandatory. Now that limit has been increased. The projects with 150,000 square meters of area, they need not undergo the EIA process. They need not go through the usual EIA process. Earlier the limit was less, now the limit has been increased. Then yet another change that has been introduced is that the time for public scrutiny, it has been decreased. Earlier the public was given 30 days scrutiny. Earlier, the public was given 30 days to submit its objections to the proposed project. Now that time has been reduced to 20 days. You may say that it would expedite the clearance, but you see, the local people of the area who were earlier given 30 days, now they are being given even less time. And imagine the information asymmetry. They have so little time, they have so little material in front of them on the basis of which they have to formulate the objections and then also support their objections. If the time would be reduced, then there would be even lesser chance of genuine objections coming up in the official process. So this is yet another way in which the process has been, EIA process has been diluted, and this is one change with respect to the older EIA notification 2006. One more aspect. Earlier, the company that was executing the project, that was supposed to submit the reports every 6 months, that it is executing the project in accordance with the terms and conditions decided during the EIA process. Now the companies are not required to submit this report every 6 months, rather the time has been increased to 1 year. So Now, after every 1 year, they are supposed to submit such reports. So the longer time duration would allow companies to cover up the shortcomings that they may have, or the let's say mug up the ill effects that they might have introduced while the execution of the project. So these are the changes in the new draft EIA notification vis-a-vis the older EIA notification of 2006. So in this way you can frame an answer to this question. Now we'll be moving to the next question. So the question is, what is Deep Ocean Mission? Mentioning its objectives, discuss the significance of the mission for India. What is Deep Ocean Mission? Now it is the mission of India. It is an exploration mission for India, by which India aims to explore, develop its capabilities to explore the depths of the ocean. Despite so much development of science and technology, despite so many developments in the field of science and technology, ocean depths, they have remained a pretty much unexplored region of the earth, of our planet Earth. So India is trying to develop capabilities to explore the depths of the ocean. India has a vast exclusive economic zone. India has been given certain area in the central Indian Ocean basin to explore the depths of the ocean. We'll be able to do all those things only if we will have the capabilities to explore such depths of the ocean. So it is for this purpose that we have launched the Deep Ocean Mission. Under this mission, two pilot projects are intended to be executed. One is the desalination plant powered by tidal energy, and another is deep sea submersible vehicle. And it is termed Samudrayan. To explore the depths of the ocean, and it is intended that this submersible vehicle, it should at least be able to explore the depths of 6,000 to 8,000 meters below the mean sea level. Now this project is going to cost somewhere around 8,000 crores, and numerous departments of government of India, they are collaborating on this mission. Department of Science and Technology, Department of Biotechnology, ISRO, CSIR, so many central government departments, they are collaborating as far as the execution of this process, this mission is concerned. The mission is envisaged as the ocean version of the project executed by ISRO in 1960s-70s, whereby we went for space exploration. So that's the Deep Ocean Mission. Now, what are the objectives of this mission? What do we want to achieve by this mission? The mission is basically it's a scientific exploration project, scientific mission in which we want to just explore the deep ocean. The focus here is on exploration. As such, focus is not on let's say drawing any minerals or actually mining those minerals that are present on the ocean bed. The purpose primarily is exploration, development of capabilities. Whether we have the capability to explore the ocean, let us develop those capabilities. Let us have that technical know-how. Let us have the undersea vehicles, the undersea robotics. Let us develop technologies for ocean climate change advisory services. So these are our objectives as far as the Deep Ocean Mission project is concerned. Developing our capabilities, developing technologies, exploring the depths of the ocean, having the know-withal to explore the depths of the ocean. Now, what is the significance of the mission for India? Like I said earlier, we have approximately 2.2 million square kilometers of exclusive economic zone along the coastal regions of India. There are so many resources that are present in this large region. how can we develop those resources? How can we utilize those resources? Only if we have the capability. So the significance of the mission lies in the fact that it would help us tap the resources present in this vast exclusive economic zone. In addition to that, like I earlier also mentioned, that India has been allotted 75,000 square kilometers of area in central Indian Ocean Basin by International Seabed Authority. It has granted 75,000 square kilometers of area in the central Indian Ocean Basin to India, so that it can explore and see if it can economically utilize the resources present in that basin. So how would we be able to do that? Only if we have the technical know-how, only if we have the technologies by which we can actually tap those resources. Hence the role of Deep Ocean Mission. Now it is said that the resources that are present in this central Indian Ocean Basin, particularly the polymetallic nodules, the zinc, manganese, copper, iron that's available in this zone, it is like in such absolute amount that it can feed us for next 100 years. But we do not have, at present, we do not have the resources or the technical know-how or the, let's say, the science and the technology backup that is required to execute such missions. So hence the role of Deep Ocean Mission. What further significance can you think of? It will help create new jobs and new business opportunities once we will be able to successfully explore the depths of the ocean, once we will be able to develop the technologies that can be scaled up. Then definitely it would create new business opportunities as well as new job opportunities. It will provide a boost to the technological institutions of our nation. That's yet another significance. So in this way, you can mention the significance of the mission for India. So I guess you'll be able to write an answer to this question, and you can check out more points in the model answer. Next. Highlight the salient features of National Electric Mobility Mission Plan 2020. Analyze the major challenges in realizing the government's vision of 100% electric vehicles by 2030. Now you can start this answer something like this, that shift to electric vehicles, it has become all the more necessary because of rising concerns over climate change. It is in this context that government had launched this NEMMP 2020 way back in 2013. Now this plan may be NEMMP 2020, but it was launched in 2013. Now this is the point that you must remember. Now what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to analyze the major challenges in realizing the government's vision of 100% electric vehicles by 2020. That's second part of the question, and first you are supposed to highlight the salient points of this plan. Now under this plan, government envisions to produce 6 to 7 million electric vehicles from 2020 onwards. तो इतने electric vehicles produce करने 2020 onwards. अगर इतने इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स हमें प्रोड्यूस करने हैं, तो इन एडिशन टू दैट हमें क्या चाहिए? क्रिएशन ऑफ चार्जिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. You cannot just have the electric vehicles without the charging infra. That's one constraint also. We'll be discussing this aspect again in the when we'll be analyzing the major challenges. But under the plan itself, government intended to create a sufficient charging infrastructure so that it can sustain or support the electric vehicles that would be that were envisioned to be produced under this plan. One problem with the electric vehicles is that it is said that let's say they are not, their range is a limitation. The distance it can move on one charge. So with respect to that, government envisioned that we would have increasing investments in R&D, research and development. Will promote research and development, and among research and development projects, one thing that was given special attention, it was retrofitting of existing vehicles with the hybrid kits. The vehicles that are already plying the conventional vehicles, if exploring the possibility if they can be retrofitted with the hybrid kits. Now these were the key points. Then there was certain policy points also, like there was a special emphasis on this thing, that there should be no duplication of efforts by different agencies, and in view of a new research coming out, there should be appropriate course correction during the execution of the plan. So this was NEMMP 2020. Now let's discuss various challenges in realizing the government's mission of having 100% electric vehicles. All the vehicles, 100% electric vehicles by 2030. What are the challenges? Do you think, first of all, if it is feasible? The challenge is going to be, let's say, if we talk from the vehicles point of view, having vehicles which have sufficient range and efficiency, so that they are, so that the consumers are attracted to purchase these vehicles. Now, like I said earlier, range of the electric vehicles is one limitation that we need to overcome. The efficiency, the battery usage is like the similar concern that we need to address. Currently, the vehicles that are available in the Indian market, they have limited range, and their use of batteries also more than the usage that's acceptable in the Western countries as of today. You see the progress that Tesla has made in the context of electric vehicles. So the products that are available in the Indian market, they are nowhere near those products. Then second challenge would be limited charging infra. Now, even though this thing was envisioned in the plan, but still, there has been limited progress on this aspect, and the charging infra available as of today, it is quite limited. So you are obviously discouraged to have an electric only vehicle when you know that the sufficient charging infrastructure is not available. The places where you are gonna park your cars, there will be no charging infrastructure, and then how you are gonna come back if one charge is not sufficient to get you like to and fro from a destination. Then despite the NEMMP, the actual investments or actual research and development that has gone into the electric mobility in India, it has been very limited. So limited investments, particularly in R&D. That's yet another challenge that we need to address. Another challenge is a very fundamental challenge, the limited electricity grid connectivity. You see, like there are power outages every now and then. The power is not adequately and cheaply available. So shifting to electric mobility is fine, but whether, even if we have the charging infra, whether the charging infra would be properly supplied by the electricity from the from source. So grid problems are another issue that we have to tackle as far as shifting to EVs is concerned. So these are some of the challenges that you can mention in your answer. You can see some of the more points in your model answer. So in this way, you can frame an answer to this question. Now we'll be moving to the next question. Enumerate the causes of soil degradation in India. List down the measures taken by government to control soil degradation. Now, soil degradation is a decline in the quality of the soil by due to improper use or improper management. Now, some of the major causes, like basically we are supposed to enumerate the causes of soil degradation. Some of the important causes of soil degradation in India include, first of all, and the most important is soil erosion. Soil water erosion, gully erosion, sheet erosion because of the excessive rainfall or the runoff or the wind erosion leading to washing away of the blowing away of the fertile topsoil. The topsoil being the most fertile portion of the soil and the portion of the soil that's most rich in nutrients. If that gets washed away or blown away, the quality of soil that is left is quite low as compared to the original soil, so that leads to soil degradation. So one is soil erosion. Then you have water logging. Now this is especially a problem in the areas where excessive canal irrigation is practiced, the drier areas where excessive canal irrigation is practiced. Now it may lead to accumulation of the inorganic salts in the subsoil, which leads to raising of the water table, leading to water logging. So that's another reason of soil degradation in India. The similar reason would be salinity and rising alkalinity in drier areas. Because of excessive temperature, excessive heat conditions, the water rises to the surface and evaporates, leaving behind salts on the surface of the soil. Now, accumulation of these salts leads to declining productivity of the soil, leading to soil degradation. Then you have overgrazing. That leads to soil degradation. Then you can say rising rapid urbanization that puts additional pressure on land, converts lands, the agricultural fields into urban habitat in an unplanned manner, rapid unplanned urbanization. Then improper solid waste disposal, particularly the unscientific disposal of plastic waste and e-waste, that leads to degradation of the soil. So these are some of the causes of soil degradation in India. Now we are supposed to list down the measures taken by the government to control soil degradation in India. So the first thing that comes to our mind as far as the quality of soil is concerned, that's soil health card scheme, under which farmers are given a soil health card. And depending upon the nutrient conditions of the soil, this would enable the farmers to know what all nutrients are in excess and what all nutrients are deficient in the soil or on their plot of land. So they can appropriately use the fertilizers. They can appropriately increase the amount of certain fertilizers and decrease the amount of certain other fertilizers depending upon the nutrient proportion of the soil. Then you have प्रधान मंत्री कृषि सिंचाई योजना. हर खेत को पानी, more crop per drop, micro irrigation, precision irrigation techniques, so that the pressure on the piece of land is decreased. So Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana with all its benefits, the increasing the water use efficiency. Water is supplied directly to the roots of the plants under drip irrigation or sprinkler irrigation. Water is sprinkled on the crops. It reduces the water use. It increases the water use efficiency or decreases the water wastage. The fertilizers, they can be applied in a specific ratio and directly to the zone where they are required rather than just spraying those fertilizers. So you have Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Then you have National Afforestation Program, which is meant to encourage afforestation of the degraded forests. So that would help to reclaim the soil quality. Then you have national mission plan for sustainable agriculture. Under this, organic farming is being promoted, so that the use of pesticides, insecticides, or fertilizers, that gets reduced, and we are using only the organic material, so that the stress on the soil is reduced. Sustainable, we have the solid waste management rules 2016, which discourage unscientific disposal of the solid waste or the municipal waste. So these are the steps that are being taken by government to control soil degradation in India. Now moving to the last question for the day, what is agroforestry? Discuss the challenges and problems of agroforestry in India. Now what is agroforestry? Any sustainable land use system that combines food crops with the trees as well as animals on the same unit of land. Agriculture basically involves growing of crops, and it may also involve the raising of livestock on a plot of land. And if we include trees also in this process, then the land use system would be known as agroforestry. There is this specific term that is used for growth and cultivation of crops, silviculture. Growing and cultivation of trees. Sorry, like I might have said crops in the previous sentence. Silviculture is growth and cultivation of trees. So when we combine silviculture with agriculture, what comes up is agroforestry. And there may be, like, depending on variation, there may be 3 different types of agroforestry practices. One is simply agro-silviculture, in which trees are grown along with food crops or such crops. Then you have pasto-silviculture, in which animals are raised along with growing of cultivation of trees. And the third one would be agro-pasto-silviculture, in which animals are raised, crops are raised, as well as trees are grown. So there may be 3 variations in which this thing may play out. Now what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to discuss the challenges and problems of agroforestry in India. Now mind it, challenges and problems, basically they are one and the same thing. You don't have to make separate headings that these are the challenges that need to be overcome, and now these are the problems that need to be overcome. Sometimes students, they take these things too literally, that 2 things are asked, we have to make 2 headings. Basically challenges and problems are one and the same thing. So under the same heading, you are supposed to highlight the challenges and problems of agroforestry in India. So what are the challenges that come to your mind? One very significant problem is that the policies or the laws dealing with agroforestry, A, they are very cumbersome. B, there is no uniformity across the states. The procedure and the legal hurdles that a person faces while practicing agroforestry, they are much more as compared to if the person had been practicing just agriculture. And there is significant variation across the states also. So that's one challenge that needs to be overcome. Second would be low R&D, low levels of R&D. Now how is that a challenge? How is that a problem? Because of this low research and development, low technological inputs, we have low quality of let's say the seeds, and we have like shortage of superior planting material that would lead to higher yield of the trees. So that's one disadvantage that needs to be taken care of. Then the soft loans that are available for cropping, they are not available to agroforestry ventures. If a farmer just wants to practice normal cropping agriculture, then the banks they have been mandated also under priority sector lending obligations to provide soft loans to those farmers, but not the case in with the agroforestry. Soft loans not available. Then coverage under agricultural cropping schemes, for example Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Now the cropping insurance schemes usually they do not cover agroforestry ventures. So how would farmers be encouraged? How can farmers be encouraged to shift to agroforestry ventures? So these are some of the challenges and problems as far as agroforestry in India is concerned. But we need to encourage this practice because it can help India solve so many problems, particularly the low tree cover percentage in India. Moreover, India has a strong dependence on imported timber also. So if we would encourage such practices and link up farmers with the industrial ventures, the let's say the furniture houses or the paper and the pulp industry, then our dependence on the imported timber would also be reduced as a result of such practices. So more such things need to be encouraged. So that is all as far as this question is concerned, and with this we wrap up our today's class. In the next class, we will be covering questions related to disaster management. So that's all as far as this session is concerned. I hope this session was useful. Thank you.